Late one winter evening, a large office building stood almost empty. The staff had all gone home, the lights were dim, and only one man remained at the gate, the old watchman. Every single night, without fail, he sat on a simple wooden chair, wrapped in a worn shawl, guarding the building with quiet dedication. Most people who passed by barely noticed him. A few even mocked his seriousness. "Why do you sit there so seriously?" they would ask with a laugh. "It's not like there's anything valuable here to steal." But the watchman never replied. He just continued his duty, his eyes calmly scanning the surroundings. One night, a young executive had to work late. As he was leaving the building, he noticed something he hadn't before. He saw the old watchman stand up, straighten his posture, and carefully lock the main gate. He didn't just lock it once, he checked the lock twice to make sure it was secure. The executive gave him a polite, almost dismissive smile, and walked away into the night, thinking little of it. A few days later, a powerful storm hit the city, the kind of storm that makes you want to stay indoors. Heavy rain lashed down, fierce winds howled, and soon, the entire city was plunged into complete darkness as the power went out. Roads flooded, and chaos spread everywhere. That same night, a group of thieves decided to take advantage of the storm. They assumed no one would be foolish enough to guard an empty office building in such terrible weather. They were wrong. The old watchman was there, soaked to the bone, shivering from the cold, but his eyes were as alert as ever. Through the roar of the wind and rain, he noticed a small, subtle movement near the back gate. Without a second thought, he immediately raised the alarm, his voice cutting through the storm. The sudden noise startled the thieves, and they fled into the darkness. The building was saved from being robbed, all thanks to one man's unwavering vigilance. The next morning, the sun came out, and the management team arrived to assess any damage from the storm. They heard the story of the attempted break-in and how the watchman had bravely scared off the thieves. They gathered around him, and instead of showering him with gratitude, one of the senior officers scolded him. "Why didn't you go home in such dangerous weather?" the officer said, his voice filled with misguided concern. "You could have died out there. This job is not worth risking your life for." A heavy silence filled the room as everyone waited for the old man's response. The watchman looked at the officer and replied calmly, his voice steady. "Sir, if I protect this place only when it is easy, then I am not a watchman. I am just a visitor." Those words echoed in the silence. At that moment, the young executive who had once offered a polite smile finally understood something profound. He realized how often we misjudge people. We see dedication and call it foolishness. We see silence and mistake it for weakness. We see loyalty and dismiss it as a lack of ambition. But a person's character is not built to impress others. It's forged in the quiet moments, to satisfy one's own conscience. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Never live your life just to meet other people's expectations. Because expectations change with the weather, but your values, your principles, must remain constant. If you are honest, if you are sincere, and if you are doing your best, that is enough. Those who cannot see your worth don't need you to change your purpose. They need to correct their own vision. Isn't it powerful how the simplest people often teach us the greatest lessons in life? Let us know where you're watching from in the comments below. And if this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that inspires. Thank you for watching.